Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Prevention. I'm Ron Rowland, the Prevention Program Coordinator for the Bucks County Intermediate Unit. Today we'll be talking about youth gambling. With me today is Adrienne Madnick, the Program Manager for Jewish Family and Children's Services of Greater Philadelphia. Welcome, Adrienne. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much, Ron, for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. So what does Jewish Family and Children's Services do in Bucks County?
Well, JFCS in Bucks County provides prevention services. We provide school-based prevention services throughout the lower Bucks region. So Ben Salem, Neshaminy, Bristol, Morrisville, Yardley, like that area down there. And we provide school-based prevention from K through 12 regards to drug and alcohol prevention, youth problem gambling awareness, and also suicide prevention awareness.
Great. Are these prevention services available to only certain populations? Like, do I have to be Jewish? Because I hear the term Jewish Family and Children's Services. Are they just the Jewish community?
Yeah, that's a great question. I always get that question when I introduce myself from JSCS. Actually, we are non-denominational, so we provide through the help of the Bucks County Drug and Alcohol Commission. We provide services throughout the Bucks County region without any affiliation, religious or otherwise.
Great. All right. That's good to know. So I know you talk a lot about gambling, youth gambling prevention. That is really our topic today. So what's your overall message when you're talking to youth and you're giving this message to youth? What's your overall message to youth about gambling?
So with our overall message, I always say that I'm not here as a person who says that gambling is wrong and that you should never do it. Our message is that gambling can be fun. It can be done safely and age appropriately. So we want to make sure that, the message isn't, it's more harm reduction and understanding that kids and adults can gamble safely and have fun doing it without going into an issue or having a problem with it.
Well, that's a good point. So at what point does youth gambling then lead to a serious problem? Like, how does it happen? If a young person is just gambling for fun, how does it happen that fun then turns into a problem?
Yeah, so basically we see it kind of on a spectrum. So, some youth can gamble and they're fine with it and they don't have a problem. And then it gets into sort of like what we call the danger zone. So in that sense, I always say that there are two issues related to gambling. So I have to say that 1 in 25 people in their lifetime will have a problem with gambling. So that's a lot. I always tell my students,
a lot. Yeah.
That is a lot. So I always tell my students, like, look around the classroom, and there's usually about 25 in the class. And I say 1 will typically have a gambling problem in their lifetime, while 2 to 3 are more at risk of having a gambling issue. And that has to do with 2 factors. It has to really do with genetics and environment. So what I mean by genetics is, like, say, for example, you have history of addiction in your family. Not to say that you will be addicted in your lifetime, but you have more of what we call a predisposition to gambling. Also, personality factors, kind of play into that as well. Somebody that is adrenaline junkie, what we call somebody who's likes to have that excitement. They could be prone to gambling, or even the opposite. Somebody who's more quiet or reserved and likes to be by themselves. They also might have an issue with gambling as well. And when we call, that's the genetic component, and then there's the environmental, availability and access. That's all we say, in the addiction world. If you have availability and you have access to gambling, that might lead to a problem with gambling later on down the line.
Great. Well, that's great. Adrienne, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate you sharing your expertise in this area.
You're welcome. My
pleasure.
pleasure.
For more information on gambling prevention programs, you can contact Adrienne, and we've put her contact information here on the screen. So thanks everyone for joining me. I'm Ron Rowland for Bucks County Spotlight on Prevention.